communication styles. Okay, next slide, please. Introduction, like I said, we'll be talking about the differences between the two countries, to the management conflicts and analysis, also the solution proposals on how to solve those problems. And I also put in a chart in the difference between the two countries. Next slide, please. Okay, different in culture. As you can see on the board, the difference between the two is kind of like oil and water, yeah? Because the United States is individualistic, vice Cambodian collectivist, right? I can't see my own notes. What that means is United States tend to work like in a team, yeah, and then Cambodian is like follow like I don't.
Are we talking? Can I
Yeah.
please? I'm seeing here like certain characteristics like masculinity versus femininity, collectivism. Where are we getting these like concepts from? What is like the? Where are you getting the concepts from? What dimensions?
Oh, I got this somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Fixed cultural.
Well, I was doing I was trying to break down the context and the power distance and all the stuff.
But,
the stuff that we
perfect.
covered in the first module.
So we are talking about Hofstede's
Yeah.
6 cultural dimensions. All right? Okay, very good. So we're talking about Cambodia being more towards a collectivist approach versus United States individualistic approach. Can you give us one example?
Okay, 1 second. I don't know why this thing don't save my setting. Okay, the individual do everything for the good of the society, right? And self has no identity. That's a collectivist.
Okay, that could be collectivism for the good of the community.
Like everything that they do
Uh-huh.
is all for the country or the government. It's not for the company or it's not for themselves, because they have no choice. Because that's how things are done in the developing country. I would say third world country, right? Because they even though they're democratic, they have prime minister, they still run by monarchy, but they were former communists. So therefore, because this country is fairly new compared to like the rest of us, because they just got their independent, I guess, about maybe 15, 16 years ago, if I'm not mistaken. But it's the U.S., we've been around for 200 years, so.
Correct.
And then context is high versus low, which mean in Cambodia, the separation between management and employees are like different. Like,
Very high.
very high. Vice the U.S. is lower. You have, same thing as power dissent, I guess, because you have reach to your management team. Yeah, because everything pretty much we play in the same playing field. Some company that might feel like a little different, but in the reality of it, that's just when we compare between the two different countries. That's just how it is. Like in Cambodia, you can be going to work your 20, 30 years career and never know who your boss is.
Mm-hmm.
right? All you hear is this piece of paper, oh, boss said this, and this is a rule and regulation. You have to follow. Vice the US, you already know every company tend to, okay, this is you, your supervisor, your area manager, you know everybody. You might not know like them personally, but you know of them. You know who they are. You know their policy, right? And you can do something about it. And then the masculinity and femininity is the difference between in the U.S. They recognize man and woman, and everybody work as a whole to achieve that goal, I guess. Vice the Cambodian where the men work, but it's not for themselves, just like how the collectivist and individualistic work, right? The men work, but it's all for the monarchy or the government or the policymaker. Let me make sure that I'm right on that.
Well, masculinity and femininity can be seen in two different ways, two aspects, okay? Not to get confused. You're right, okay, masculinity, it has got the tendency, if we are talking about individuals, the rise or having the same rights, having power positions that happens in America, it's not such a masculine society in that aspect, okay? It's more egalitarian,
Right.
same rights, and less traditional. But if we see this from another perspective, as you are mentioning, femininity is like more towards less conflict. We are going to avoid conflict. It's more towards
Just
talking.
the culture, everything have a play in it where if it look taboo, we're not doing it. Or if we say something and it's gonna go against like our leader, we're not saying it. You know, we're not doing it. That's just how, vice American, we don't care. If it's right, we're gonna say it.
In that aspect, if we are seeing that from this perspective, I can see. But if we talk about the rights of women and CEOs in America, I'm pretty sure that both in politics, and we have many more CEOs in America than in Cambodia.
Right.
But from that aspect, from that perspective, that can be seen like that. Okay? Thank you.
Okay. Next slide, please.
Oh,
This is in management style. As you can see in the picture, right? The Cambodian versus the United States, which is the United States is the company defined like a vision and strategy. Like the company will have the goals and they'll set like a guideline for the employee to follow to achieve that goal and maybe exceed it, right? They expect you to do that. They set like I wouldn't say minimum, but they say required, yeah, goals and rules and regulations. So for us to achieve our personal goal as well as the company policy goal, right? Vice Cambodia is like this is what you're gonna do and that's it. Right,
You need to follow or you get fired.
basically, right. And everyone have, in Cambodia, everyone have one role, right? One job, and that's it. If you're a guy that input number in the computer, that's all you do. And you will do it the best of your ability. Which in America, we all been in the military.
Cross train.
We do everything and anything under the sun, even if it's not our job. Because we believe that the more we know, the best we can help the company, right? That's the difference between the two. And then